What's good, y'all? It's your girl, Kristen Ayana, and before we get into this episode, I just gotta say, make sure that y'all subscribe, like, and turn those post notifications on, and stay tuned with Black Talk Radio. Welcome to Black Talk Radio, hosted by Kristen Ayana. Listen as we discuss the latest in Black culture, Black news, and Black entertainment. What's good, y'all? It's your girl, Kristen Ayana, and welcome back to Black Talk Radio, where we discuss the latest in Black culture, news, and entertainment. Now, I'm very excited because I have a special guest in the building. Who do I have with me today?
You got your boy Uni-G. What up? What up? We in the building. What's up?
Thank you so much for coming. I can't wait to dive into our conversation. You came in, you got your pink on.
My pink. I did that on purpose.
Your pink and black.
Yeah,
like you already know the vibe.
Yeah, I mean,
I love it.
Come on.
So first things first, can you just tell us a little bit, of course, about yourself and what made you start getting into music?
Come on. So, my name is Uni-G. A little bit about myself. My favorite color is blue and lavender. Me and Taylor got that on. Got that on a lot. Other than that, I got into music. I started rapping when I was around 10. So many years ago. And it was just one of those things that me and my friends did, banged on tables, freestyle, made fun of each other. And it just got, big from there because I was voted best freestyler, whatever, in the yearbook.
Ooh,
and then from there, I went to high school, and one of my guys picked me up, who was like an old school guy in the industry. Took me to Madison Square Garden. I started meeting different people, went to college, and I made a hit single at the time, and things just started taking off from there. So now I'm back, and dropped some new music, and it's pretty much a fake little quick run through of who I am. You know what I mean?
I love that. What, when you were younger, like in high school, with your friends freestyling,
Right.
what gave you the courage to do that? Like, were you nervous at first or no?
Initially, no, because it was just fun. We just making fun of each other, and just coming at each other. When I got to high school, it was a little different because I was surrounded by different rappers. You know what I mean? Like now I'm in a different hood. My elementary school is by my old building.
But you grew up in New York.
I grew up Bronx, New York, born and raised. Boogie down, boogie down.
You know what they say about people from the Bronx?
Yeah. The best rappers. That's a fact.
No.
Anywho, what you gotta say? Chill out.
They say people from the Bronx is crazy.
Yeah, we a little crazy. I ain't gonna lie to you. Something different without water. That's what it is.
Let me think about all the people I've had up here from the Bronx.
Yeah.
Let me think.
Who you had up here?
You.
Okay.
I had this other rapper, Ayo Aliente.
Okay.
I feel like Bronx people always bring that big energy, big vibes. So shout out to the Bronx.
That's what you need. That's what you need.
Yeah, good vibes, big energy.
Right.
Now, at what point, because it's one thing to like do music and rap when you're like, younger versus like when you're older and you say, okay, I want to make this into a career.
Right.
So what was the turning point for you?
That's a good question. I think the turning point was when I dropped my first album. It's not out on platforms anymore, but it was called The Commercial. And I had dropped a single. It was so corny at the time, but I was trying to fake fit in. It was called Do the Cocoa Butter. And it was around the time when The Jerk was out. The Dougie.
Oh.
Yeah. So legit like doing the cocoa butter. But it went at that time, fake went viral. And I'm like, okay, maybe I could, turn this into a career. So I was performing at college at the time. The band was playing it before football games.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying?
What college did you go to?
I went to Penn State, Edinburgh. And it's where like it's straight country, like Amish, you know what I mean? So for them to be embracing my music, it's a big deal. So I shot the video. World Star shot the video. That's when World Star first came out. You know what I'm saying? And so it was. I'm like, all right, maybe I can do something with this. I dropped my album. I had Joe Budden on the album.
Wow.
So I'm like, all right, let me just see if I could do my thing, turn this into a career. Then shortly after that, I dropped another single called Swerve, and that's when I had to try to get Big Sean on, and so forth and so on. And so from there, it just started picking up to where I had did my own tour. And I had like Further Godson on the tour, Manolo Rose, Nitty Scott, Smoke DZA, Graf, Dave East. I was on tour with Dave East, and so from there, I'm like, all right, maybe I can turn this into a career. So it was around that time when I dropped my first album.
Wow, I love that. What would you say are like some lessons you took from that like point in time to now? Because it's
girl, Tay, girl. Look, let me tell you, there's so many lessons I've learned. One, I had to learn that this is the music business.
Okay, now.
Everybody says, this is the music business, but it's not until you're in the music business that you learn that this is business.
Yeah, no,
and,
seriously.
And I was not equipped for the music business. Knowledge-wise, yes, but emotionally, no. You have the people who like turn their backs on you, or they promise you, I got you, and you hold it, and they will leave you stranded.
Yeah.
And I wasn't ready for those type of lessons early on. Another lesson I learned was I decided to do my own tour. I was tired of trying to get on everyone's tour because I wasn't known, so I did my own thing, and I sold out my shows. But in doing so, I bought out the venue. I owned the bar, so forth and so on. And so when you lose money at some of these shows, you learn a lesson or two. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or when you have people, like I said, like turn their backs on you, like, dang, like, why would you do that? But it's like, hey, it's not personal, it's business. So I would say those are the type of lessons I learned. The hardships.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like, honestly, with anyone in the music industry, specifically artists, it's like the growing pains. I kind of hate it that people have to go through it, but I feel like it makes you stronger, and it also helps you decide, like, is this something you really want?
Right.
Because it's like, okay, if you're gonna give up when things get hard, maybe you don't want it as bad. But I also think the music industry is very exploitive. And I think for a lot of people, especially young people, older people in the industry, they play off of that. I think it's a lot of like gatekeeping that happens, or this notion of like, I went through hell, so you got to go through hell.
Right.
And that's where I kind of don't agree, because I think we should all be like making it better for the people behind this, or like the next generation.
Yeah. They don't care about that. You
Nope.
know what I mean? I don't like that. I've noticed, because when I went to school with a lot of white people. I was the only black person in my major in class.
What did you major in?
Speech pathology. I was mad random, speech and hearing pathology.
Wow.
Has nothing to do with rap. But anywho, and a minor in audiology. But anyway, so what I noticed is, the white people will give their children the business.
Yes.
It ain't no you gotta earn it, work for it. Here you go. Here's $1 billion. Run the business. But I don't know what it is. As colored, it's like, nah, you gonna have to prove yourself. And I get the idea of that. But I can see how that can deter us, because we're already so far behind financially and so forth and so on. Slavery, if you will, like throw it in. And it's like, man, like, nah, hand them the bag. You'll teach them, but hand them the bag. It don't have to be prove yourself and work for this. It's like, teach me as I go. You know what I mean? So it's just a cultural thing. I think it is rooted in slavery, but I mean, what can you do? You just abide by it and hope that you can change it for the next people coming up.
I agree. And I think, like, for me personally, like I was saying, I want things to be better for people that come after me.
Right.
I also don't really understand the ideology of like, you have to, not that you have to earn it, because it's not to say like we're just gonna give people things that don't deserve it, but to your point, looking at other races, that is how they win, because they just willingly give what they worked hard for. And I think it's kind of like, isn't that the point though?
Exactly.
Like, don't you want to be successful to like help people that come after you?
Right.
Because if I'm already successful and I give, and you're my kid or my niece or whatever, and I give you what I've worked hard for, I'm already successful. Like, I've already done, like, I've already have the money. So why does it matter so much, I guess?
Agree. Not everyone thinks like that.
So yeah, that's a good point. But speaking of just like, parenting and just growing up, I want to talk a little bit about your background. Because I believe your parents are from Ghana.
From Ghana, yeah. My parents are from Ghana. They are from Africa.
Yes.
The accent tell you, man, you should try.
So tell us, what was it like just growing up in a household like that, and just the culture?
Yeah, it was very different. First off, Africans, they don't accept that you want to be a rapper. You know what I mean? Like, it's either you be a doctor, engineer, lawyer. You know what it is. So trying to tell them I want to be a rapper, it was like, all right, cut that out. And it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. But what made it just like 0.5% easier was the success that came with it. Okay. So when they see me on TV and they're like, hold on, like, my dad was watching the news one day. He saw me on the news. He was like, yo, you're on the news? And I'm like, yeah, like I'm trying to tell you, like I'm going hard at this.
Mm-hmm.
And then when he sees me constantly leaving the house on tour, well, with all my promo, I think they started to see like, oh, he's not playing with this. But I still had to go to school. I still had
Mm-hmm.
to get good grades. Like that was non-negotiable.
Right.
But I always wished I had parents who supported, my
Mm.
dreams. Like I hear a lot of like African Americans who's like, nah, my mom came to my show. My
Mm.
mom, yeah, right. You know what I'm saying? Like that's things they never did.
Mm-hmm.
So that was hard. But after a while, you're just like, that's just the culture. They don't understand. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
How are they now?
Well, my mom, she's somewhat, more supportive of it. She'd be like, "Oh, you're going to?" I just told her, "I'm going to a radio interview in Jersey." She's like, "Okay, good luck,"
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that.
Okay, so progress.
Yeah, yeah. As for my dad passed a few years ago.
Oh, my
Yeah, yeah.
condolences.
Thank you. It's so funny. He never supported me. He's like Uni-G, like what's that? He never really supported it. It was so crazy until the year he passed. He
Mm.
asked, he was like, "Yo, you have any shows?" I'm like, "Wait, what? What did you just?" You
Mm.
know what I mean? So, I mean, I wish they could have enjoyed a show or two.
Mm-hmm.
My dad was a musician as well.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
and my grandfather, his father was a touring musician. I never got to
Mm.
meet him. Um, so that's one of the reasons my dad never really took it seriously because my grandfather wasn't there for him because he was always on tour. You know what I'm saying?
Ah.
But as for my dad, yeah, he just wants something like, yeah, that's a waste of time. You know what I mean? But he supported that last year he was alive,
Mm-hmm.
and I wish we could have made a song together, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But it also kind of shows too, like generationally,
yeah,
like how trauma
yeah,
can
yeah.
low key be like passed down
Right,
in
right,
like different situations for
right.
sure. But I am glad that like now your mom is like
Yeah,
a little bit more supportive
yeah,
because I
yeah,
know
yeah,
that
yeah.
means a lot for sure.
Shout out to my son. Shout out to
Shout out to mom and
him.
dad.
Yeah.
Now I want to talk about your latest single, I'm
Come
Free.
on, let's talk about it.
Tell us the inspiration behind that song and the music video, which I was telling you off camera that I really enjoyed.
Yeah, thank you. So the inspiration behind I'm Free. So in like 2000, I don't remember,
Mm-hmm.
somebody had hacked my Instagram page. And what was deep about it, that's funny, that's crazy. What's deep about it is that he was DMing like friends and industry connects. For example,
Mm-hmm.
like I was on tour with Lupe Fiasco,
Mm-hmm.
and me and his manager we got really close, and some people from Atlantic Records, and so he was DMing them and asking them for money. Like, out of all the things he could have done on my page, you know what I'm saying? Like, I wish,
Not
you know what I mean?
money.
I just wish he did like, yo, vote for me. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Those type of acts. My man started DMing people asking for money,
They were
and
sending it?
they were sending it thousands, thousands. And so what hurt the
Wow.
most about that, like I told you, I've been doing this since I was a child. So I only knew how to define myself as a rapper.
Mm-hmm.
Like I didn't know anything else about myself. Like the only way you could support Uni is if you were coming out to my shows and so forth and so on. Like I didn't care. I didn't know how to care for anything else.
Mm-hmm.
So when he did that, he did more than he knew. He stripped my identity from me. And so
Mm.
now my reputation was tarnished, to a degree because people knew I wasn't that type of guy, and people were giving the money because they knew like Uni would never ask.
Mm-hmm.
So from there, I was like at a place where I'm like, okay, God, like, all right, bro, all right. Well, what are you trying to say to me?
Say,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? So eventually, I was able to get my page back, and I did some PR stuff, but I knew I wasn't the same anymore. And so I'm like,
Mm.
I need definition. Like, I can't just be Uni-G the rapper. Like, what else am I? I wasn't into basketball, TV. I wasn't into nothing else, just rap.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just started slowing down.
Okay.
I'm like, okay, God, like talk to me. In the midst of that happened, my dad died. Like I passed,
Mm-hmm.
like I shared, he passed, and I'm like, okay, God, you have my full attention.
Tension.
Got it. And so I started. Then COVID happened, which was crazy in itself. So I started watching these series online by Pastor Michael Todd. And
Mm.
even though he crazy, you know what I mean, he was resonating with me. Like he was talking to me, and I'm like, all right, like he's saying some stuff. Let me just pray.
Mm.
And so I legit said, God, if this is what you want me to do, this is also what Michael Todd suggested. He said, pray for godly community. So I did that. I'm in the park, 42nd Street, doing a photo shoot. My boy Kev, he a model. Shout out to Kevin O, the model. And some guy just walks up to me. And he's like, yo, you into the arts? I'm like, yeah, I'm a rapper. He's like, would you want to come to church and do it? I'm like, oh God, like I knew it was God, but I just wasn't ready for that for it to be that quick. You know what I'm saying? Like I still want to be, live my life, stay outside. I was for the streets, and so I'm like, you know what, fine, like I'll entertain your Bible study, Bible talk group,
Uh-huh.
whatever. And it changed my life. I'm like, oh God, like I'm gonna have to give up cursing. I'm gonna have to give up
Mm.
being for the streets, being in the clubs and so forth and so on. I wasn't ready for that, but I knew I couldn't be who I was anymore. And so I'm like, okay, I committed to being who God wanted me to be. And from there, that's where I'm free came from.
Oh, I love
You know what I'm
that.
saying? Because I thought I was so free in the world. I'm like, oh, I had like the biggest DJs playing my music. I was performing in Dubai. I'm on the radio in Iceland. I was at all these big radio stations performing with A Boogie, Tiger, and I just thought I was just living life. But I was nowhere near free, and I didn't know that. I thought I was free. And so when I actually got free and was no longer a slavery to the industry, my dreams, and just making it, because that's what I just craved
The
for.
constant chase.
Yeah, the chase. I'm no longer a slave to that. And it's a demon in itself. And you don't realize that until you're outside of it. Because you will slowly compromise your soul. And you don't realize it. You just think, oh, I'm grinding, I'm hustling. No, you're selling your soul. You don't know it. And I didn't know it. You know what I mean? And so coming outside of that, eventually I was baptized and I truly learned who God was. I'm like, okay, now I'm free. And so I started writing the lyrics. In the midst of my dad dying and planning his funeral, even though it was bitter, it was fake sweet because I'm like, now I can live in a way he didn't even know how to live. And so I started writing I'm Free, and I wrote it. It became his thing. And the video was just kind of there for me. I'm like, I want people from all over the world singing this, white, black, kids, Indian, Asian, just having a good time and experiencing what freedom looks like to the eye. You know what I mean? So that was the idea behind I'm Free. And I was
Wow.
loaded.
No, I love
okay.
of that because
yeah.
I think for a lot of people in entertainment, to your point, they lose themselves. And I also think as creatives, we have to remember, like, yeah, you're trying to chase this stardom or this fame or this success, but you literally only have that talent because God gave it to you.
100.
So I just love that you were able to come back from that because a lot of people don't come back.
Yeah, that's facts.
A lot of people don't make it out. A lot of people are still in that constant chase. Or that constant need of like approval.
Right.
And honestly, the sad part about it is I think with how the world is right now, it's not only about like the fame that people want, it's a lot of like outside validation. And I think social media, which I also think is so interesting that it's like your social media got hacked. That was like the first thing. Then everything else started happening because I think social media plays such a big role on our mental and our psyche
100.
on how like we're perceived, but also how we perceive ourselves.
Yeah.
So it's just like I think all of that was so aligned.
Yeah. It's true. It's true. And the sad part is thinking that you're free and you're not. That's scary. That's scary territories. Not until I got free, I realized I never really knew Jesus. Like, I thought I did. I grew up in a church. I prayed and here and there. But I was still living opposite of how Jesus would ask me to live. Like I said, I was in a club, really to promote my music, but I was still in the club. I'm riding cheeks, you know what I'm saying? I'm dancing, I'm getting crazy, I'm cursing, I cursed all over my music. And that's not who God has asked me to be. With the gift he's given me, he expects me to use it responsibly.
Right.
And so I was irresponsible with the gift he gave me. You know what I'm saying? It's like I would compromise pretty much for anything. And so now, on being on this side, I stopped cursing, which wasn't easy. My second album, Welcome to My Universe, I almost went platinum, 500,000 streams, and I had to take that down off the platforms because it was curses all on it. My single Swerve, the one that I went on tour with For the Gods and so forth and so on, I took that video down because I had girls, exposed and so forth and so on. So I had to do a lot, and that was tough for me. I'm like, dang, I got hundreds of thousands of views.
That's real though. Like, this is real.
You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people aren't willing to do that. It's a struggle.
They're not.
It's like if God asked you, I don't want you interviewing anyone who doesn't glorify me. And then let's say right then and there you get a call from Drake. Yo, I want to come on the show. And God's like, say no. It's like, hold on, God, you all right up there? Like, but it's like, are you willing? Real. It's, you know what I'm saying?
I love that because you know what's crazy? I saw a TikTok today.
Yeah.
And it was this girl, and she was saying how you have to trust God so much that you don't go for the 99.9%.
Yeah.
So say for I'm gonna use it for example. You want a new job.
Yeah.
You told God the type of job that you want.
Yeah.
You told God that you want to be paid X amount of dollars. You want X amount of PTO.
Right.
And you want to be, I don't know, this type of role, like this type of responsibility in that job role.
Right.
And say for you get an offer and it's like the role that you wanted.
Right.
It's the PTO that you wanted,
Right.
but maybe it's not like the pay that you wanted. And she's like, you got to be okay with walking away knowing like, this is not what me and God discussed. This is not what I asked God for.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, also, God is going to give you above your 100%.
Right, right.
So I think oftentimes, too, in life, we go through these, like, tests to really see, like, are you trusting in God like you say?
100.
Like, are you understanding of his plan? So, like, while it may hurt to not do things that in your mind you thought was the plan.
Right.
You just got to know and trust that his plan is bigger than what you imagine.
Absolutely. And that's not always easy.
No.
You know, I was...
It's insanely difficult.
It's very difficult, but you have to trust that he knows something you don't.
Right.
You know what I mean? I came up in a game with like the Toby and Wingways, Coda, Jack Harlow, the baby. Like, we were all peers.
Right.
You know what I mean? And now seeing them excel, I'm like, okay, my time is coming. But I have to trust that God, like, my time will come. You know, had it not been for that, I know I would have got on the same time. I would have been living in LA in a nice little mansion, and they just had those LA fires. And I just know I would have been one of those people whose house burned down. And I'm like, God, why'd you do this?
Yeah.
And God was like, that was never my plan.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that I just sat down and I listened to him. You know what I mean? So
wow.
Yeah, come on.
I love this.
Yeah,
I love this.
I love it.
I love this so much.
Yeah.
Now, as far as like being in the studio, right? So we talked a little bit about I'm Free. We talked a little bit about just how your music has transitioned.
Yeah.
You know, you're not cursing anymore.
Yeah.
You know, you're on this different wave.
Yeah.
What are your studio sessions like now compared to what they were in the past?
Right. So I've always been serious about my studio sessions. Like, you can't, never even then you could come in the studio with weed and bottles. Like, nah, I paid too much money. We are here to work. You know what I mean?
Period.
Yeah. So my engineer, he doesn't even play that neither. His name is Blue. He also did Solange's album, Jay-Z, so forth and so on, Cranes in the Sky. And
love that song.
Yeah. So he did that whole album. And so when we go in the studio, it's straight work. We discuss the vision, the plan, and we get straight to work. You know what I mean? And so it's not different now. But now I just still don't compromise on certain things. Like, people are uncomfortable cursing around me, and the flesh in me is like, dang, I just want to be a guy who's like, you can still, but no, that's not okay. Because Jesus wouldn't be okay with that.
Yeah.
So it looks different in terms of that, like just the environment. And it's like, okay, it is what it is. You know what I mean? I'm here to work anyway, not lollygag. So let's get to work.
Yeah,
exactly.
exactly.
I mean? So that's the only different, you know what I'm saying, difference it is now. You know what I mean? So.
Okay, yeah, I like that. I think that's important. I always like when artists say that they like to lock in the studio because I'll be thinking like it's not cheap.
Yeah, it's a lot of money. I'm paying $300 to $200 an hour. You know.
Wow.
Yeah, mixing, man, that's a lot of money. So it's like,
yeah, we gotta stay focused.
Yeah.
Now you talked about just the tours that you've been on and being on the news and all types of things. But what would you say has been like the most memorable moment in your career thus far?
I got you right now. Boom. Most memorable moment in my career. I never thought you'd a memorable moment. So coming off the, opening up for Tiger and A Boogie, I legit thought that was the biggest moment in my career. I also opened up for Lupe. I was on tour with him. He's my favorite rapper, Lupe Fiasco. So I thought that was big too. So my church asked me to perform, and I'm like, oh, here we go. Like, nobody want to perform at church, but I'm like, you know what, I'll do it. So I went out to LA, and my church is in all parts of the world, like London, Africa, so forth and so on.
What church is it?
It's called NYC Disciples. So you just pick the place and just put Disciples. So like Toronto Disciples.
That's fire.
Yeah, Jamaica Disciples. So it's OD fire. It's OD fire. And it was crazy is God was trying to set me up, but I was holding it back. So reason why it was memorable because I go out to LA, Anaheim, and to California, Anaheim, and I'm like, I'll perform. So there was about 10,000 people at the A Boogie and Tiger show. At church, it was about 3,000 people. So I'm like, okay, whatever. Nice amount, cute. But it was people from all over the world.
Ah.
So I'm like, hold on, like there's people from Guam. I don't know what Guam is to this moment. You know what I mean? There's people from Africa, I'm talking about South Africa,
Yeah.
Nigeria. There's people from China, Hawaii. Oh, I mean, like legit. I can't even name all the parts of the world that they were there. And they're all screaming, Uni-G, Uni-G. And I'm like, hold on, how y'all know me? How y'all know Uni-G? And what's crazy is they were screaming for A Boogie and Tiger. I was just an open act.
Right.
But here I'm the main act.
Right.
And I was holding back what God was trying to bless me with for years. And I said, this is a game changer. I now can go to different parts of the world, like London, which I'm going to in like 2 or 3 weeks, and I can do sold out shows by just having the church come out and support me.
Wow.
New York and
That's
Philly,
amazing.
and so it's that was the most memorable moment because I just slept on what God was trying to do. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Wow,
Crazy.
nah, that's amazing though.
Crazy,
like to have all those people from all over the world,
yeah.
like chanting your name.
Yeah, fire.
I absolutely love that.
Yeah. Crazy.
Now, July is National Minority Mental Health Awareness Month.
Okay.
So I have to ask, like, as a black man, what are the ways that you maintain your mental health, especially, you know, just given everything that you've gone through, and of course, like being a music artist?
Yeah, that's a good question. One, obviously, a lot of prayer, and I'm very open with the people in my life. You know what I mean? So, in my church, we all have spiritual mentors.
I love that.
Yeah, you need it. You need it because you can't navigate this by yourself.
Right.
And so weekly, I talk to my spiritual mentor about what's going on with my mind, my heart, the things I'm struggling with, and things I'm just having a hard time overcoming. I've never really been to therapy, even though I'm for therapy. I promote therapy. Like it's dope. For me right now, I have spiritual mentors and my guys, my friends who I can be very open with. We're not the type of group who doesn't really open up with stuff about each other.
That's
like we're
good.
one of those guys. Like, yo, bro, like how are you doing? Like how's your mind? How's your heart? What have you been dealing with? You know what I mean? So I have a good community, and that's what I use to just stay leveled. You know what I mean?
And I think that's important in life. We all need community. Like I don't understand how people will say, "Oh, I don't need anybody." Like I came in this world by myself.
Yeah, that's all lies.
No. Like I don't care what anybody says. Like if you're really down and having like a bad day, a bad time period in your life, yo, going out with your friends
will change a lot.
And even if it's just like talking to them, going out to eat or something, like that will really make a difference.
Right.
So I'm glad that you have community because I think that's so important.
Come on, community.
Yes.
It's needed.
For sure.
Makes a difference.
Now, I always like to ask my artists when they come up here, do you have a team? And if so, like how was it formed? I know you've been in the industry for a while now, so just kind of walk us through like, you know, what that process was like of like working with others, figuring out like who would be of best interest for you and things of that nature.
Yeah, shout out to I have a heavy team. Shout out to my team. Obviously Kelly, she's a part of my team. She's my PR. She's one of my PR people. I have two. I have multiple. So shout out to my PR people just on that side. I have a lot of industry connects. And my boy Steve Lobel. Shout out to my boy Steve Lobel. He's been a legend. He doesn't like to be called a legend, but he's a legend in the industry. Like he put together Biggie and Bone Thugs, and he's one of those guys. So I have him on my side as well. But as far as my immediate team, I have my guys that I grew up with, like my boy Kev, who will come with me on tour wherever. If he needs to wear a book bag with my Uni-G stuff on it, he'll do that. I have my boy Will, who does the DJing now, does the videography for me, and a whole bunch of just other friends who's willing to do legit whatever it takes to get to the next level. You know what I mean? So I have a few Taylors in my life. You know what I mean?
Shout out to my intern Taylor.
You need it.
No, definitely.
It makes a huge difference. And they've been with me since the beginning. You know what I mean? So if it's handling emails, whatever it needs to be, I got the team formed for that.
Right, and I love that because you trust them. And you know that they're people that have been around you for so long and you guys built that bond.
Right.
So it's like even beyond music, you know that they genuinely care about you.
Exactly.
Which I think is important and definitely makes for an impactful team for sure.
OD, come on.
Now my final question.
Let's get to it. Come on.
If you could leave your supporters with one thing to remember about you, what would it be and why?
One thing I want my supporters to be left with from Uni-G is that one, I'm a man of God first. Before I'm a black man, before I'm African, before I'm just a man, I am a man of God first. And I implore you, each and every one, everybody who's ever met me, to just go truly find God. Because I thought me and God was so good. I prayed, I read my Bible here and there. I went to church on the, Easter's, Christmases,
right?
But that's not truly knowing God.
He
says He wants to know you intimately. Those were His words. And so I would say, like, get to know God intimately, because he, like you said, He will do more for you than you can even imagine. He has more for you that you can ever see or envision. So I would say, like, find God. And if you don't know where to find Him, to DM me. I on my off days or my regular days, actually every day, I do Bible studies with people.
Nice.
And I help them truly find God. And even if they think they know Him, like, yo, I'm good, it's like, okay, then it won't hurt. Let's just try it out. You know what I mean? So that's what I want to leave with people. Yo, hit me up to do some Bible studies. Even if you think you know Him, just let's do it. Let's just set it up. Let's talk about Him. Boom, boom. So that's my spiel.
Wow. I love of that. I really enjoyed this conversation. I really appreciate you coming through.
Thank you for having me.
I just want to say thank you so much. Let everybody know where they can find you, follow you, all that.
Facts. Come on. Follow me on all social medias at I am Uni-G. IAMUNIG for those who can't spell. IAMUNIG. Also go to my website to get some merch at IamUniG.com. I heard Black Talk Radio is going to buy some merch for me. So you already know what time it is. Get some merch. Yeah, you already know.
Thank you so much, and we're wishing you nothing but the best.
Thank you so much. Be in the building.